Hey teacher friend, welcome back. I am Nina Rodriguez and you're watching Misfit to Teach, where I talk about all things teaching and how to stay mentally, physically, and emotionally fit to teach. If I don't already know you, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you and I can come together every week. It seems like an eternal battle, and no matter how good of a teacher you are, this highly contentious area of being a teenager has the potential to evolve into a complete and total meltdown. So to save your sanity and your teacher voice, I am breaking down 5 strategies to help you manage phones in your class. Let's go. Now, I've already produced a previous video, which I still highly recommend if you are looking to implement predictable and easy to follow rules for your class. Now, the important thing to remember is that video pertained to middle school students. And why much of the content in that video is still very, very good, and I fully support all of the strategies I endorse in that video, I don't recommend the cell phone policy in that video for high school students. High school students are obviously older, they have more agency, they want more autonomy, and they demand a greater give and take from their teachers in a way that middle school students just don't. So if you're a middle school teacher, I highly recommend that you watch the first video in addition to watching this one so that you can pick and choose what's going to work the best for your class. If you are strictly a high school teacher, this one's for you. Strategy number 1, make them part of the plan. Teenagers of all ages hate being told what to do. And it's not because they're awful human beings who are hell-bent on forming a mutiny and a rebellion and taking over the entire school, although sometimes that definitely seems to be the case. Have your high school students collaborate with you in setting the classroom expectation for phones. Your high school students love engaging with you to set their own rules. And when they feel that your rule setting is more of a collaborative process than a dictator process, they're much more likely to buy in. So at the beginning of the year, propose a class contract. Clearly outline what your phone policy is, what you all have agreed upon, and what the potential consequences are for phone use infractions. Ask your students how they believe the phones should be used and not used, and while they get to collaborate with you in the process, you get the final say. 2, put a creative spin on phone racks and phone hotels. No one likes the idea of their items being confiscated. It's like a constant TSA. Your students will be more willing to park their phone if you give them a reason. You can start by using numbered slots or an inexpensive plastic shoe rack, and then invite your students to charge their phones in there. I cannot tell you how many times my kids have just, without permission, taken out their phone chargers, plugged it into the nearest outlet that was closest to their seat, and just started charging their phone. Others have gladly put their phones on my desk if I was willing to charge it for them. I don't know when this stuff became a negotiation, but they were much more likely to get off of their phones if I was serving a practical service for them. And you don't necessarily have to provide any service for your students. You can also provide some participation points toward their classwork grade, or giving them a homework pass, or one free pass on a low stakes assignment if they followed your phone protocol. All of these things, again, will help to foster buy-in, and you'll find yourself arguing less and less about phone use. Number 3, incorporate technology creatively in your classroom, and also in a positive way. Cool platforms like Kahoot, Blooket, and Quizlet Live are all really excellent and usually free ways to invite your kids to take out their cell phones in a productive way. Now, of course, not all of these are free, and for some of them, you do have a paid subscription for the higher level of service, but for a lot of these, you can easily log on free of charge and use their practice platforms while inviting your students to get on their phones. You can also set up research-based scavenger hunts where your students can use their phones to find answers. And this is also particularly helpful in demographics where technology such as laptops and iPads are not readily available. Strategy number 4, implement phone-free challenges with prizes. Our high schoolers still very much love to be rewarded for their efforts. And sometimes there is nothing wrong with utilizing the well-placed candy bar or a small fidget prize as a sign of your appreciation for their good work. So you can do this by implementing a daily or weekly phone-free challenge, whereas at the end of the class period or the end of the school week, if they have followed your phone policy, they receive a small prize. Now, I'm very fortunate to work in a district where some of our extra funds go towards small doodads and gadgets, little pieces of candy, school supplies that are sort of extra perks that we can give to our students. If you're in a district that doesn't have that option, please don't feel like you need to break the bank or go into debt to provide gifts as a means of negotiating with your students to do what they should already be doing. Incentives can also be things that you have at your disposal right now, such as homework passes, stickers, or extra downtime in class. You can celebrate your students' success publicly, such as shout outs or even following a chart that you display in your classroom. Keep in mind, this isn't bribery, it's strategic motivation. And when in doubt, if all else fails, relate this back to their real life. Some of my best conversations I've ever had with students, the best relationships I've formed, and the greatest impact that I've had in reaching my kids is when I'm just real with them. And there will be times when you just simply have to abandon everything else and level with your students. At this point, there's bodies of research that support the idea that phones are a major addiction. Like shorter attention spans, higher levels of depression, severe need for instant gratification. Our students deserve to know these things about their phones. Ask your students to reflect. How does their phone usage impact their life? Invite them to write about it. This is an excellent way to activate the English curriculum, but with the science research behind this will also be excellent in a science classroom as well as their health and PE. And once my students are done with their assignments, what I've always loved to do, whether it was in my middle school classrooms or in the high school, when everything is finished, I do like to return them to their phone and allow them 5 minutes of brain break time where they can cool the jets and catch back up with what they've missed in the virtual world. When your students know that you're not trying to confiscate and keep them from something that they really care about, when they know that they're eventually going to get their device back anyway, they trust you more and they buy into your classroom routine. So give them back their phones. Be the first one to let them know that you're wanting to and willing to let them have their phone time so long as they put the work in first. Managing phone use, whether it's with our students or with ourselves as adults, it's not about being the phone police. We're not the technology Gestapo. It's about helping our students build and foster positive and healthy relationships with technology, giving them the habits that they're going to need in the real world. So try one of these strategies and let me know how it goes in the comments below. If you yourself have a strategy that seems to be working or is more on the creative side, I need to know. Please share it with our growing community. We would love to know what you're doing that's working in your classroom. Hit that like button if this helped, and remember to subscribe for more teacher tips. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, do all you can to stay fit to teach. Be well.